What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here with
Gershwan.
Today we're back to answer your questions in another episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. That is what August Anderson did. He asks, please answer my question. Who do you think would replace Abaddon as War Master if he died? This is actually pretty interesting. Go ahead.
At first, I don't know why, I pictured Gilliman, but you said Abaddon.
Yeah, Abaddon, he's a bad guy.
Yeah. Abaddon, the Despoiler, I would have to probably say maybe Luft Huron. Because, I mean, he is
a familiar that's a giant, like, reptile. Or not a giant reptile, it's like a little...
It's like a lizard thing.
Yeah.
Like a lizard dog thing.
But in reality, it's just a robot, because that's what a familiar is, right? Or does it... No, a familiar
it's a warp thing. Yeah.
It's a warp thing?
Yeah, it's a warp thing, because, like, throughout the years, it's kind of, like, evolved into, like, a bigger creature. Like, the stronger a Huron gets, like, psychically, the more the thing evolves.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do they have a model for him?
Yeah, I think they've got two. They got one when he was good, which is a Forge Road model, back from, like, the Badab War. And then there's a evil one where he's got like the claw and the familiar.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, so Master Chapter Valric, I think his name was. Yeah, I think he's the one in yellow. Yeah. He talked about this a little bit. He was talking about how in one of the books, I think it's Perturabo that's talking, if not Mortarion, and he's saying like. Oh, who has the insight into the warp?
Magnus?
Who has that goofy eye? No, it has a goofy eye. Yeah, I have a goofy eye. I think it's for travel. But anyways, he was talking that one of those two Primarchs, they asked him about Abaddon, and then he was like, "Yeah, I don't really care what Abaddon is doing anymore. I don't really care about his Dark Crusades. Is that what they're called, right?
Black Crusades.
Black Crusades anymore. I have seen the future." Because he can see the future, like, because he's in the warp and all that.
For trouble?
And he's saying that, well, either Perturabo or Mortarion, I can't remember. But he's saying that now the big threat is his brothers. His loyalist brothers are coming back. So in reality, as GW progresses the story, Abaddon is going to, I think, take a back seat. Because he doesn't even have a model. Or a good model anyways. And what's going to happen is that we're going to get more and more into like
the Primarchs.
And the Primarchs are going to be taking over, leading great crusades and all that kind of stuff.
Horus Heresy 2.0 minus the Abaddon and Horus.
Yeah, so no more small fish. It's all about, no, I said it wrong. No more little bank, it's big banks. Because big bank take little bank.
What do the fish have to do with?
I don't know, I was just thinking about fish. Because the saying is no more little fish, big fish. I don't know.
So anyway, what you're saying is that the Primarchs are going to be replacing Abaddon.
Yeah. Well, evil Primarchs.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next question. That was a good question, though. And shout out to Master Chapter Valric.
This one's by Lord McDuck. Could the Space Marine chapters be reformed back into their original legions so they could go on a great offensive or crusade, or just to better protect the Imperium of Man? Thoughts, and thanks for the response. Cheers from Australia.
So can they be reunited into
Legion strength? No. They're not going to do this because they know that if there is a chapter that is Legion strength, which is 100,000 Marines, the possibility for more infighting, civil war, another heresy is really high. And that's the reason why they got broken down into 1,000-man chapters.
Except for
Ultramarine. Right. There are some chapters that are not Codex compliant, so obviously they have a little more, a little less, a little bit of sprinkles here, a little bit of fluff there. So.
Yeah. No, but the current fluff is that Gilliman is building Legion Strength Ultramarines again to control Ultramar.
Has that been like 100% confirmed though?
Yeah, it was in the books.
Like you're talking about the rise of the Primarch, or?
No, it's the after he killed Mortarion. What is it called?
The
the Ultramar Crusade.
Yeah.
Something about Ultramar. Anyways, next question comes from All Might. Are demons, ghosts, and devils warp entities? Like currently, I'm guessing, right?
I believe so, yeah. That's how I take it.
So is El Cucuy from the warp? Yes. He's a manifestation. Is the Chupacabra a warp entity? Kinda. Is a Loch Ness monster? No, that's a Tyranid. Bigfoot? He's not real.
What about
Santa Claus?
Yeah.
He's the emperor.
Oh. Saint Nick?
Yeah. But yeah, demon, ghosts, and devils are basically just warp entities, and like currently in the 22nd, no, where are we? 21st millennium? We are
The warp entity.
Yeah. No, we're not. Well, I mean, we are, but if you see a ghost, it's connected to the warp somehow. But the warp isn't what the warp is in 40K yet. It's more like a pool of emotions still. But not at the same time.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Bunny Hop. What's stronger overall in 40K? The warp or technology?
The warp. Otherwise,
Well, I mean, think of it this way. Eldar used to be the biggest and the baddest, and they're all about tech. Necrons got some pretty awesome tech. The Tau have advanced so far because of their tech.
No. I disagree. Okay, so I disagree. Well, no, because like the Eldar, they're not advanced because of their technology. They're advanced because they're so psychically powerful, and there was nobody to stop them. Same thing with,
Who?
The orcs have that whole they have their whole WAAAGH thing. The only one that I would say like technology over warp is the Necrons, but you got to remember that the Necrons, they kind of gave up, or they didn't give up, but they saw it more advantageous to go to sleep than to keep fighting against the warp entities, because the warp entities are going to be tough to destroy. So it's like, well, they're going to kill themselves. Let's go to sleep.
Right, but they were at the top of the top because of their tech. They had weapons capable of imprisoning like Catan and stuff like that.
Yeah, but they weren't warp. The Catan weren't warp.
Right, but I mean, that's their technology. That's how strong they were. So you're saying even though they've got like a star-killing weapon, you're saying that's still not going to be a huge weapon to use against warp entities?
Yeah, because during the War in Heaven, it was the old ones who had the upper hand. Even after the Necrons destroyed the Catan or shattered the Catan or whatever they're called, it wasn't. They weren't the reason that the old ones lost is because of the Enslaver Plague. If it wasn't for the Enslaver Plague, I think the old ones would have won against the Necrons. That's my two cents on that.
Take a penny, leave a penny.
And then right now, if you look at like the Imperium, the Emperor, who is the strongest psychic individual in the history of humanity, took control of the Imperium, not a fabricator general from Mars,
right,
who uses technology.
He was pushing technology above all else, above religion, above like...
Yeah.
Right.
He was pushing like non-belief.
Right.
Because he saw the threat. But that doesn't mean that like it's better. Like the fact that there is a threat there that's extremely dangerous goes to show you that like warp is pretty powerful. It's not to be messed with.
So Big Bang does take Little Bang.
Yeah. Winner takes all. I think that's what it means.
Now this is kind of on the same lines. Dragon Punch 903. Strength or intellect? What triumphs more in 40K?
It depends on the race, right?
Well, I mean, because obviously Oryx
Strength.
might makes right.
Yeah.
But if you're smart, that doesn't... Because you can be the smartest guy around, and you can still get beat up.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess in 40K, since it's all about war and stuff, I'm going to say strength triumphs more.
Yeah. Overall, like in the big picture, yeah.
So then are you saying that Khorne is stronger than Tzeentch because of this?
No, so that's what I'm saying. Like overall in the big picture, when you look at races, I think the races that dedicate themselves to strength, like Khorne Berserkers, like Orcs, like the Imperium, they are more likely to win or get talked about the most than like the Tau, the Eldar, Tzeentch.
Well, I mean, thematically, speaking, obviously fighting is more attention-getting than plotting and, misdirection and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, but like as far as like Khorne over Tzeentch, that's a tough one because I think like Khorne has more territory, has more aggression, has more power, but Tzeentch is plotting. That's the whole thing. Like, who knows? The tables are gonna turn later on.
Right.
So that's a tough one.
It is a tough one. You guys are giving us some toughies.
Yeah, you're making us think. Next question comes from Jim Dighton. Are the killer clown sightings real? Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some vines about them, some memes about them, and it's getting closer to Halloween, so you might actually see some.
Which is actually really dangerous because it happened in our neighborhood, like down the street on Lincoln, and they were like running around by Bardwell. If I was a guy walking my dog and some clown, like, because it was a clown with a knife,
right?
And you know it's a real knife, because like,
well,
you don't
kids
that
know,
go out there,
but you don't know for sure that's a real knife.
I know the kids that hang around that neighborhood, and I know they would be stupid enough to chase people around with a real knife. So like, if I were to see that, I know that that's a kid. I'm not gonna think that it's like a clown and that's like a warp possessed clown or something. I'm still gonna punch that kid in the face as hard as I can, cause like fuck that kid. Yeah. I
mean, I get you. Like, who are you to be dressing up and terrorizing?
Scaring me, right?
Your dog.
Oh, come on.
And it's all about the puppers, guys.
Yeah. So for this Halloween season, don't dress up as a clown and scare people with real knives. You can scare them with fake knives, but be careful.
Speaking of which, Fright Fest starts soon, so I'm looking forward to that.
For Six Flags, yep. Next question comes from DeFool06. Can gnolls cancel out orc WAAAGH Energy?
Isn't it different, kind of?
Yeah, WAAAGH Energy is more of a gestal or gestal. I don't know how to pronounce that word. But it's like a group.
It's not even
thing.
a word.
No, yeah, this is GES. I'm not gonna spell it. But yeah, it's a group thing, like locusts getting together and they get bigger, right? That's what WAAAGH Energy is. Like, more orcs get together and the WAAAGH Energy gets bigger. If a gnoll gets thrown in there, number one, it's not gonna survive because it's gonna get a choppa to the head. Choppa isn't like a choppa, not choppa isn't like a choppa. But like, yeah, so.
A big choppa.
A big choppa. Oh, this is a perfect example of how like orcs would prefer might over like intelligence and the warp. Because like, if a gnoll gets dropped into a squad and like the squad is supposed to have like WAAAGH Energy, even if it nullifies it, orcs don't rely on the WAAAGH Energy to kill the thing. They're gonna kill the thing with their fists. So that's that. Last question. What you got?
I don't.
Oh, okay. I got one.
I thought that was the last question.
Okay. This one's by David Coots. How do Nid's named characters return after digestive pits and the hive strips a planet? We talked about this last time, so we'll do a quick one.
Basically, what happens is when the named character is done, doing what they got to do, they go back into the vats, get liquefied, get sent back to their hive ship, and there all the information is stored and then sent out again when needed.
Yep, it's just a storage of genes.
Mm-hmm. Thoughts, ideas, beliefs.
And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question.
We'll get to those first.
This was Gershwan.
Sound Alchemist, and we'll see you next time.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.